I have two more problems left, so I'm going to go ahead and run through them as well. The heparin drip is infusing at 19 milliliters per hour. Available to the nurse is 250 milliliters of D5W with 25,000 units of heparin. The IV tubing delivers 12 drops per minute. How many units per hour is the client receiving? So, yet again, what am I looking for? I'm looking for units per hour. So I'm going to make me my little note to the side here. Oh, that is not the one I want. So I'm looking for units per hour, right? I'm going to go ahead and start my dimensional analysis by putting my units up there on top. So where in my problem does it have anything about units? I've got two. Hold on. I have 250 milliliters that has 25,000 units of heparin in it. Okay, well I can use that. So I'm going to put my units on top this time because my units here needs to be on top. So 25,000 units over what? Over 250 milliliters. So now I need to get rid of this milliliters, so I'm going to bring it to my top. Where in my problem does it state anything about milliliters? Says 19 milliliters per hour. So I'm going to use that. And then again, I would not use this right here. Why? Because if you look at the whole problem, if I put this in my dimensional analysis, there's nothing else in this entire problem that can get me to cancel out this 12 drops per minute. So there's no point in me even bothering with that. That right there is, yet again, just extra information to trip you up. So instead, I'm going to use my 19 milliliters per hour, my 19 on top, per 1 hour. Well, these 2 milliliters cancel here. So now I'm left with units per hour. I needed units per hour. So you would do your math. And I got 1,900 units per hour. Okay? Yep, 1,900 units per hour. So now we're going to go to number 7. The physician orders the client to receive a bolus of 80 units of heparin per kilogram of body weight. The client weighs 130 pounds. A vial of heparin labeled 10,000 units per milliliter is available to the nurse. The nurse would administer how many milliliters? Okay, well let me go ahead and highlight that because there's a lot of extra stuff in here. But I know that part of the problem is asking me how many milliliters is this nurse going to administer. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. Following administration of the bolus, a heparin drip at 1,800 units per hour is to be started. The pharmacy prepares the heparin drip 250 milliliters of D5W with 25,000 units of heparin. The rate of the infusion will be how many milliliters per hour? Okay. So I need to know, there's pretty much two questions in this whole problem. So we're just going to do one at a time. So we're going to start with the top one here. The nurse would administer how many milliliters? Okay, well we're going to find that out. So I just need to know how many milliliters this nurse is going to administer. So I'm going to start with my milliliters. So the physician orders the client to receive a bolus of 80 units of heparin per kilogram of body weight. Okay, the client weighs 130 pounds. A vial of heparin labeled 10,000 units per milliliter. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and tie in here. Got 10,000 units per milliliter. Okay, well, I need to bring units up here, right? In my order, I have 80 units of heparin per kilogram. So that would be 80 units per kilogram. So I'm going to put my 80 units up top and put my 1 kilogram on bottom. Now I have to get rid of this kilogram. I'm going to bring it up. How am I going to be able to get rid of it? Well, I know that the client weighs 130 pounds, right? So I could do my 1 kilogram to 2.2 pounds. Now I'm able to tie in my 130 pounds. My units cancel. My kilograms cancel. My pounds cancel. I'm left with milliliters. That is what I needed to know. I needed to know my milliliters. That was it. For this top problem right here. Just this question right there. So you would do your math. So I got 0.472 blah 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 milliliters. Well, we can round. Let's see. How does she want us to round? Okay. So she wants us to round 2 decimal places. So this 2 right here is not going to allow this 7 to go anywhere. So it's just going to stay 0.47 milliliters. So that is the answer to this question right here. So now we need to work on the second question. The rate of the infusion will be how many milliliters per hour? Okay, so we're looking for milliliters per hour. So I'm going to start with my milliliters on top. Following administration of the bolus, a heparin drip at 1,800 units per hour is to be started. Pharmacy prepares a heparin drip of 250 milliliters of D5W with 25,000 units of heparin. The rate of the infusion will be how many milliliters per hour? Okay, so where in this half right here am I going to be able to find anything with milliliters? Well, I've got 250 milliliters with 25,000 units. So I'm going to put my 250 up top, my 25,000 units on bottom. So now I need to get rid of this units. I'll bring up my units. I know that it's going to be running at 1,800 units per hour for 1 hour. My units cancel. I'm left with milliliters per hour. The second question right here was milliliters per hour is what it was asking me. So now you're going to do your math. I've got 18 milliliters per hour. So this is pretty much like a 2-answer question. So my first answer, we're just going to call this one problem A. We're going to call this one problem B. So my problem A, let me do it in a different color here. So for A, 0.47 milliliters. For problem B, it is 18 milliliters per hour. Yep. And that is how you get that one. That one's a little bit more tricky. If anybody needs me to kind of break that one down a little bit more, just message me on Teams and I can. Alright, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it and I really hope it helped.